is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new CVX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Sultan's choice for excitement, and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Jess, welcome aboard. Good morning, one and all. It is Thursday, December 4th, 2025. We are in studio, the one and only Sean Stanley, driving and mastering the program. And, of course, today is day number 18,949 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Today is also day number 8,733 since the Miami Hurricanes were national champions. And the countdown for Bitcoin over 100K has not started yet because we got to get back over 100K. All right. We got to do that. Anyway, loaded show for you. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk to Michelle Kaufman also on the show. Preview, of course, Inter Miami and Vancouver. It is the MLS Cup. So that'll be fun. Antwan Staley, buddy, will stop by. New York Daily News Jets beat writer. So we'll preview the Dolphins and the Jets. Tomorrow, David Furones will join us. So we'll cap off the week with David on what went on in camp and all that good stuff. We'll get his thoughts on what's going to happen with the Jets and all of that tomorrow. Remember, Steve Calabro will join us tomorrow also with the Wise Guy picks. The Wise Guy went 3-0 last week, so he got back on track. So hopefully he continues now the hot ways. And Lily Nabit is going to join us. Midfielder for Fort Lauderdale United also will join us on the program. Plus, we've got a bunch of things to talk about on the show. So there we go. Okay. All right. So looking forward to it, and we'll have some fun, and we'll get the latest on a lot of stuff going on, and we'll talk about some of the stuff locally going on. So all good in the hood, as they say. All right. Anyway, what else do we have? I already started? Jesus. I thought I cleared myself right before I got on the damn air. That's crazy, dude. I thought I was already kind of cleared out, and I wasn't. Jesus, it's terrible, man. Just one of those deals where you just it's weird. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. All right. So there we go, and I appreciate that. Thank you all hanging in there. Just I got to get through this thing. Eventually, I will. One day, whatever. A friend of mine told me he had the same kind of cold, and it lasted him 7 weeks. So, not looking forward to that, but we'll see how long it does end up lasting. So anyway, did take my decongestion pill, so it, kind of helped me get through the show and all that good stuff. Anyway, so we've got a bunch of guests today to talk to. We got all kinds of different subjects too. Some local ones, obviously, a couple of national ones. I got a little crypto to talk about, Bitcoin, definitely music, as we always do. So kind of a loaded program. Of course, we'll take your questions and your comments. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Remember, you can always make a donation to the show, help us grow, help us keep us alive. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always. So all kinds of stuff going on as I continue to look at everything else going on in the world of sports, and especially locally. All right. Oh, man. I got to start off the Heat last night. They lost to the Mavs, and
That's cool, dude. They're 14-8. They've got a 4-6 record on the road, which is not like actually horrible, but it's all right. They just didn't shoot well last night. They shot 40% from the field, 30% from 3-point range. It was just an ugly night. So we'll see if they can do better Friday in Orlando. Mavs were like on a little roll. I think last night made it third win in a row for them, and Miami just didn't play well. It wasn't, and I'm not going to attribute the Mavs defense. They had open shots. They had shots. They just didn't make them. You know what I mean? And it was everybody across the board pretty much that was contributing to the crappy shooting last night. So moving on from that, because there's 82 of these and we're still in early December. The other subject that is actually more important and kind of interesting, and I don't know, you know what, Sean, you can create a poll question to have a little fun on the show here, and people can vote. And let's ask them, do you want the Miami Heat to try to trade? Doesn't necessarily mean they can, doesn't necessarily mean they'll have the best offer, but do you think they need a Giannis Antetokounmpo? Because he and his agent obviously have now talked to the Bucks, and we all know the Knicks are one of the teams that he, Shams was talking about and mentioned before that was one. And then San Antonio, I heard, was another that wanted to maybe pair him up with Wemby or whatever. Okay. Question is, I want to know how the Heat Nation feels. So do Heat fans out there, do you want the Miami Heat to try to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Yes or no? That's it. Nothing in between whatsoever. Yes or no. That's all. Okay. I don't want to hear about depends on what they have to get. They're going to have to give up a lot because there's going to be people that are going to want them. So here's where I am going to state my case for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay. Yeah, sometimes we live in the past and we're not willing to make the tough decisions. And we've done this on the show. We've had this conversation, right? I mean, I wanted to get rid of Jimmy Butler right after the second championship run, and I was evil. And right after the 10 interceptions of X, I said, you got to get rid of him now. We've gone through this several times, right? And, we know how things have turned out for the whole thing. Okay. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a hell of a player, has been a hell of a player. He was a championship player for 1 year and everything. Okay. He is averaging right now 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. He shoots 63% from the field. He shoots 43% from three-point range. That's a drastic improvement for him. He sucks at the free throw line. It's 63%. His game does not age well. Okay? So I just want you to know, since the 1920 season, not 1920, the 2019-2020 season, just in case, some of you are slow. Okay. There's Sean. The NBA has 82 games, correct? Okay. Here's what he's played. 63, 61, 67, 63, 73, 67. And this year he's played 17 of the 23 games. And I don't know if you can pull up the video. I posted it on my Twitter feed there, Sean. I guess we'll get tagged for it or whatever. But I aggregated it. And last night, playing Detroit, he went to the floor on his own. And he was like messing with his right leg. And, it kind of reminded you of like an Achilles. Like, I don't know what's gone on. I don't know if they've mentioned anything this morning. By the way, keep an eye on that also. On Giannis. And so he already suffered an injury this year. And last night he suffered another injury, and it was non-contact. You can go to my Twitter feed at Big O Show, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, and just look at the low light there, the poor guy. And I get his athleticism, but he doesn't play a season anymore. And his game does not age well. It just does not. As he gets older, he's going to get more injuries, and he will slow down, and he will not, because he plays around the basket, because he has such athleticism and length and advantage over everybody else. So, but that stuff starts to wane, and I think it's already happening. And he's not a guy that can only play 2/3 of a season. That's now. So you're going to give up a bunch of people. You're going to, thin out your roster a little bit to add a guy that it really doesn't make you a championship contender. I'm sorry. The poll question is up. I mean, you guys, you do your own, you look at it however you want to look at it. But I wasn't a fan of trading for Kyle Lowry. I really wasn't the biggest Jimmy Butler fan overall. They milked it and they got way more than I ever expected. But I was right that he was never going to get another star to come play with him, because I disagreed with that when that notion was, oh no, he'll get another star. Never got another star to play with him. He had to go join a star. But it wasn't like he was going to create a team and another star was going to come, I got to play with Butler. That did not happen. We got Kyle Lowry. So this is a trade that I'm not a fan of, because I think this is the wrong time to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And right now, after you give up whatever you give up, because people even have talked about Khalil Ware being part of that package. And I'm like, no, dude, what? No, I'd rather not. Like, I don't even know if this team is going to do anything. You know what I mean? It might be a play-in team when it's all said and done. It might be a 6 seed or something. Maybe it's not a top 4 seed or anything like that. But I'd rather find out about this than tie myself down to another albatross of a contract with an older player. And it's like it's a movie that I'm tired of seeing already, dude. And so I look at the Damian Lillard thing, how it would have ended up. You're trading again for an older player. And yes, he was great and all that, but these older players, man, you gotta sometimes get out of the past and move forward. And if you could find a young player that you can trade for that's disgruntled, then okay, that's fine. Look at even John Moran at 26. I'm kind of turned off by John Moran. At first, I was like, before the season started, I was like, yeah, I'll trade Tyler for him. But as I've watched this season develop with him there, because I do watch the rest of the league and watch like what kind of an asshole this guy consistently is, like he doesn't get it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if these people can reach him. And so I'm not the biggest Tyler believer, because I think he's like a walking time bomb and he's going to get injured again. But if I'm going to move him, I'm going to move him for something else. I'm not going to take him for another major headache and risk. And, and Jaw's not a big guy either. So his game won't age well either. But if he's not focused, you won't get the next 4 years out of him like you should. You should get a monster 4 years from his ass, but you won't, because look at him. It is what it is. So I don't know. Right now, by the way, yes is winning 56% of the vote. So at the poll question at the moment, you guys, majority, want to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I get it. It's a shiny object. I just try to take a couple steps back and play the positives and the negatives to it, the pros and the cons. And there's just so many cons to it that it scares me that it'll set the Heat back in the process, is what I think. And he's a good dude. I don't think he's a bad dude. It's just his abilities and the way he plays, I just don't think it's going to last. I just don't think it's going to last. That's the part that I would not take the gamble on. By the way, markets are open right now, and Bitcoin's at 92,584. As for the stock market, for those of you out there who have your share of stocks, just want to make sure it refreshes here for a second before I say it, because I usually pull up the app like I tell you, and then I tell you one thing and then it changes on me. So we are almost 30 points up on the Dow. We are 2 points up in the S&P, and the NASDAQ, we are barely up a point. So there you go. At least it's in the green, which is very good. That I can say, at least that's a good thing. All Year Cooling and Plumbing, by the way, they are number one in Florida when it comes to AC and plumbing services, extended warranty, financing available. They have same-day installations. I have an AC that is running right now from All Year Cooling, and it was installed in 2010. Okay. When I was working over at 640 Sports back then. All right. And All Year Cooling has been there ever since. They've been in business since 73, family owned and operated. I got to know Tommy Sr. He is just absolutely amazing. So call him. 888-204-5554. All right. Let's talk a little football. The one and only Michelle Kaufman. I see she has popped in.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
I hear you, Verizon.
Okay. I am here at the stadium. It's been a crazy morning already, but I have just a couple minutes. Unfortunately, I just picked up my credential, and now they have interviews going on in a few minutes. So, but I always make time for Big O.
Thank you, my friend. It's interesting how we got here, right? A violation, a spitting incident. We end up seeing a younger lineup, and that younger lineup, Javier says, I think we're better off this way, and no looking back.
Yeah, no looking back. I'll tell you real quick, two things that are noteworthy. Number one, I got an interview with Luis Suarez last night. They offered he was at a Puma event in Little Havana, and they invited 4 outlets, and I was one of them. So I was really happy because we have not gotten to speak with him since the Club World Cup. I kid you not. We have not spoken to Luis Suarez through the spitting incident in Seattle. Nothing. We have no access. We have not had a chance to talk to him. Anyway, I asked him specifically about the benching, how he's handling it. And he had an interesting answer, which you can read my whole interview with him and watch the video on MiamiHerald.com. Anyway, and he said that, the first game, the Cincinnati game, he fully understood that the coach told him that for tactical reasons, they wanted a player with different characteristics. In parentheses here, we mean speed, basically youth and speed. Anyway, he said, that he understood that one because he was told, that they wanted a player with different characteristics for that particular opponent. So he said, he accepted that and he fully understood that. And of course, he dealt with it in a professional manner and continued to root for the team. He said the second game against NYC, he felt it was a little bit different because in that case, he said it was a home game. He really wanted to play in it. And he felt that he has demonstrated that he can play more than 8 minutes, which is what he got to play. And he said, but that is the coach's decision. I have to accept it. And I can't be pouting. I can't be upset because that's bad for the group. I have to, as a big player, as an experienced player, I have to continue to root for the group. And he said, and you have to applaud the way the team is playing now and the dynamic with which they're playing. He said, we have to congratulate them as a group. So that's number one. Luis Suarez talking about that. The other thing, sorry about the noise here in the parking lot. The other thing I want to point out to you, which is breaking news on your podcast, whoop, whoop, breaking news. Dario Allende was not at training today.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean this transfers right away?
Allende was not at training today. The man who has scored 8 playoff goals tying an MLS record who's been on fire. He was the only player missing from practice this morning. We are waiting. One of the reasons I have to go run is to Javier Mascherano is going to have a press conference, and that will be question number one, because he has been so critical to these last 3 games. And if he is injured or sick or something, that changes the dynamic of the attack. And by the way, it could mean that Luis Suarez starts again. So This is breaking news. So we don't know what's going to happen yet until we hear from Mascherano.
Okay, no, because I know his transfer ends, and I'm thinking, are they moving him right away? Like we can't have him for the MLS Cup? Like what's going on here? But I hope he's not sick, and I hope he's not injured. Because they are a completely different team with Silvetti and Tayendo up front. With plus they have 2 guys that can also play defense.
That's the other thing. They race back on defense, and they do. You see the energy with which, you've now got 10 field players defending with speed, and, and that makes a difference, too, on both ends.
I hate to say this, but if they play with Suarez against Cincinnati, that's the game. I wasn't worried about NYCFC. I'm not worried about Vancouver. I was worried about Cincinnati. That's the game I thought they were going to lose, actually.
I would be worried about Vancouver.
Well, I was terrified of Cincinnati.
Vancouver with 9 players toward the end of the game beat LAFC. LAFC had 11 players out there.
I get that, but my point is if they play with Suarez in that game, that's why I thought it was going to end. Yeah. And they didn't. They played with Silvetti there with Tayendo and Messi, and I go, oh, and this gave, and they kicked Cincinnati's ass. Yeah. And Cincinnati throughout this year proved that they were the better. I think the last 2 years they've proven they've been the better club. And so it's like I was worried about that game, but once I saw this new version of Inter with the young guys, forget it, dude.
The new version for those keeping score at home. The new version has beaten their last 3 opponents 13-1. 13-1. So they are scoring goals like crazy, and only one goal conceded in 3 games.
The goalie's doing good too, by the way. The switch there
Rocco Rios Novo, yes. That was the other move that Javier Mascherano made. After they lost, they gave up 5 goals to Chicago. Right after that, which was everyone thought it was a little strange that right before the playoffs you're going to change your starting goalkeeper. That's very unusual. Guess what? He did it, and Rocco has stepped up, and now Rocco is the starter.
Yeah. So to me, I am really I wasn't impressed with Javier the coach yet. Now this is a coach now. This is not just a Messi friend running the team, because the move to keep Suarez on the bench, that took cojones.
That took a lot of courage, and I'm assuming he must have had long conversations with Leo, because Leo is his best friend. And that was Mascherano said, that was a very, very difficult decision, and Ustari too. But he made those bold decisions, and it turned out, definitely paid dividends. So, we'll see what happens on Saturday. I have to go run to this press conference.
You go ahead. You're predicting them going to win? If Allende's playing.
If Allende's playing, I think they're definitely going to win. I still think they could win without Allende, but I think with Allende, they will definitely win. Should I even say it? And without him, I still think they should win. But I do not think it's going to be a blowout like it's been the last 3 games. I am expecting a closer game than a 4-goal differential.
Okay. I'm expecting a win. This is not the team from last year, and this is not the team with Suarez.
They're motivated. They want this trophy badly. Yeah. Busquets and Alba, this is their last game of their entire career. They want to win it. Everyone wants to win it for them. Suarez, it could be the end for him. We don't know yet. They want to win this trophy badly. So I just think the level of motivation they have, they're going to be home. It's hot right now. It's going to be hot out there. And the way they're playing, I just think, there's a reason that they're being called a favorite, and it's nothing against Vancouver, because Vancouver did beat them 5-1 in April aggregate. But I think right now Miami's on fire.
Yeah, and the Moss family can't deal with keeping Suarez any longer. You have to cut bait after this run. You can't have that bad PR anymore. You just can't. You don't need it. You just don't need it. Anyway, go do your thing. All right. Appreciate you. Big time. And we'll keep up with your tweet. There she goes. She's gone. Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. So we'll find out after she asked the head coach what the hell is going on with Tadeo Allende, who has been a monster, bro. An absolute monster. Monster. She's trying to come back. She's the best. She's the best. Don't worry. Tell her to go. Tell her to go. Man. I'll send her a text because she's got to work. Let's see. Okay. All right. Anyway, so there she is. Michelle Kaufman, Miami Herald. By the way, she also puts out her own podcast on it, you know. And so check it out. I think every week she puts out her podcast. And you can follow with everything that she covers. I mean, she gets to cover every single thing that goes on pretty much with Inter Miami. Whatever access they allow, she's usually one of the outlets that gets, you know, the privilege to be able to cover whatever is going on. But they have to. The Suarez thing ends on Saturday. You cannot bring Suarez back. You can't. He acts like an asshole on a consistent basis. That's because he is one. And so you got to stop with it. It's got to end with Suarez. It just has to end. You just don't need it. But I'll tell you this. When you talk about, you know, key decisions of the game, like the Sloman's key decision of the game, Javier, the goalie, keeping Suarez on the bench, putting in Silvetti, and have those two young kids carry this burden, but then have Messi and all these guys set it up. That, my friends, that's where I earned. That's where Javier earned respect for me. He saw the goalie wasn't good enough. He made the change. He kept Suarez on the bench after that spitting incident. Plus, he realized after playing the young guy, he said, I'm doing a disservice to the team if I make this change and go back to Suarez. Why? And it's what I mentioned to Michelle, who she knows because she covers it. And those of you that watch, the two kids will also play defense. You're not going to get defense from Suarez, dude. You don't get any defense from Busquets. He has to foul people. He's old and slow. So you can't have, you know, it's not like Messi is doing a whole bunch of, you know, defending. So you've got a lot of older guys out there. So that's a key decision. And when you want to make a key decision in 49 out of 50 states, you call my friends at Sloman's. 1-800-ALARM-ME and get the Shield link, baby. With one app, you can control the lights, the climate, the door locks, the music, the blinds, the TV, just about anything in your home, whether you're on the couch or on the commute or you're going across the country, whatever it is, you're headed home. You can now start cooling down the house. You got dogs like we do. You can make sure you keep it at a certain temperature. You can have cameras inside, outside. We have both inside and outside. You know, most everybody has outside. Nobody really has inside. Not a lot of people, but we do. Why? We have 4 dogs, dude. We have these 2 big-ass dogs roaming the house. We got to make sure that the house is all right. You know, that the couches aren't torn up. Or not. They're actually very good. They don't do that stuff. But, you know, overall, we still want to make sure that they're safe and they're healthy and happy and all that, and they're sleeping on the couch. And just those are my favorite pictures when I take the pictures in whatever part of the house, as long as I catch the dogs just crashed out on the couch, you know, because they sleep like 15, 16 hours a day or some shit like that. So they're just like crashing out. Life is good. Life is good. Shield Link's doing the job. I get the peace of mind. My dogs are safe. You get the peace of mind. Your family's safe at night when you set the alarm. They've been protecting Americans for 100 years. Call them 1-800-ALARM-ME and tell them that Big O sent you and order Shield Link. Powell was hurt last night. That's one of the reasons why we lost. I'd say yes, yeah. But, I mean, you got Tyler, you got the other guys. If the other guys would have shot better, we would have won last night too. We would have seen them win. I believe. they could have won even without Powell last night. They missed shots that they normally make. That's the thing. And that's what I saw from the team yesterday. Missing shots that they normally make. So that's the part that sucks.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
That's right, and use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. All right? 10% off online at caneswear.com or in person. Use our code. And remember, online, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping, man. You get free shipping. Chippy, baby. You get the free shipping. That's what it's all about, man. Free shipping saves you a cacherulo. You know? The thing that the people in charge of our government aren't doing, saving us cachirulo. No, they're making us spend way more cachirulo. That no good, man. No good spending the cachirulo. No. Anyway. Let me go through the chat board. Don't forget, please smash. Let's go. Smash. The like button. Jamie Zorria in San Jose, I see. Dolphin Dave hitting it, baby. Jeff in Long Island. Captain Saki in Tarpon Springs. Brian Rackey. Gus 1388. The Jaybird is in the house. He says, great interview yesterday on the channel with Sophie Harding. 2 Aussies on Fort Lauderdale United FC. And we will talk to Lily Nabit later on the Choming. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. John Padilla is checking in from San Francisco. Lenny Pena. NorCal is for sure token away right now. JG Long. Let's see. What else? Stoney Stanley. The one and only. Oscar Rojas, Patrick Vecchio. Got to give you credit, Big O. You say all along the defense would eventually gel. Yeah, dude. You know, Patrick, we have no patience, bro, as a society. We're a microwave society. And then we start calling Weaver a bad coach. And it's like, bro, did you watch him last year? He had no pass rush. And somehow by the end of the year, his team was a top 10 scoring defense without a pass rush. You don't do shit like that by accident. You got to know your stuff. And then this year, you give them 3 young defensive tackles that they're not ready yet, dude. Yet you all want them to be ready right away. And then you got linebackers who I love, but they're not great cover linebackers. And then you've got 0 secondary outside of Minka. Okay, you expect the defense to be productive right away? Hells to the no. And those of you that were calling Weaver a bad coach, you are a bad football fan. You're not very educated. You need to go back to football 101 and look at what I just explained, which, by the way, how many times did I say this exact line, Sean, in the preseason about the linebackers, about the defensive tackles, about no secondary? How many times? And I said, it'll take you at least half a year for him to figure shit out. And then in the second half, it'll be much better, but it'll be too late to save your season. But I'm a dick. It's cool, dude. I'm an asshole. I'm the jerk. I'm the guy that, I'm Mr. Negative and all that. No, dude, I'm just brutally effing honest. And that's why people get turned off by the show. In the end, they walk away and they go, this motherfucker is right. But they hate that I give them the negative shit way before. They hate that in July, I'm telling them, or in June or in May, hey, dude, this season's over. It hasn't even started. And I told you, bro, this season's over. Look at what they've done in the offseason. They did not build a roster that you can really win with. And, whatever, you want to lie to yourselves and say, oh, this is the year everybody thinks they're not going to do anything, so they'll shock everybody. Of course, because that's the normal. Yeah, whatever, man, And so this guy's a hell of a coach. This guy's a real leader. The part, Patrick Vecchio, that is going to piss me off is this offseason, since we didn't put him in place after the third week, we're going to lose him now. Because he's going to see this whole mess. He's going to see everything he's done. That he's going to see what they've given him the last 2 years, which is dog shit. And then he has to make it into a souffle. And like he doesn't need this. So his resume will read like, dude, they gave you dog shit the last 2 years, and you did some souffles there. They're pretty good. So somebody else is going to give that dude a chance. And it's just so Dolphins. So Dolphins. That's the part that really bothers me. Not the fact that I was already playing chess ahead of most of you with him, with the defense, with the talent, the offseason, and all of that, and what happened this year. Okay? Had nothing to do with that. I'm still playing chess. I'm thinking about the domino effect that down the line, because we didn't put dude in place for week 4, we're now going to lose him, and somebody else is going to get the better part of Anthony Weaver as a head coach, as a leader, and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to sit here like I've been sitting now for decades, just pissed off at the Dolphins. And my anger towards the Dolphins just grows now, because just the catastrophic stupid decision after catastrophic stupid decision after catastrophic stupid decision just pisses me off. So there you go. Skyler Tipton, how you doing, buddy? J-Town. Great day to DCA. I love it. Ty in the Bronx. Think Blue Dodgers is smashing it and smoking it. Anthony Kyle Campos. Frankie Fresco. Luis Medina. Jesse Wilson. I'm not sure it would be worth it because of the cost, even though he is a Hall of Fame level talent. He struggles to stay healthy like Hero. Yeah. Bloody Wood is in the house, and he wants Giannis, by the way. Magnus, what's up with you? Miles Deep out in Vegas. I would trade Bam, Tyler, Wiggins, and picks. I would keep the younger guys grow as Giannis gets older. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't like that. Plus, I don't think the money would work, by the way. With Bam and Tyler and Wiggins, it's way too much money you're sending that way, and they're sending a lot less money this way, and then we would have to come up with some of their baggage. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think that works on the trade machine, Miles. I haven't done the trade machine, but the mathematics, the numbers, don't crunch. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're giving a lot away, man. Let's see. Random Ray says, Allende has been a huge difference maker these playoffs. Inter can't afford to not have him on the pitch. I agree. They need him. And the combination of him and Silvetti has been fantastic with Messi. With Messi working the vision and the passing, and those kids have been smart enough to also find Messi too. So it's been beautiful, dude. Been beautiful. Sean, please keep up with Kaufman's Twitter account. See what is reported on Allende, because him missing practice yesterday is No good news, man. I saw the tickets are around $300 on Ticketmaster. There's tickets. There's some tickets left, but they're like $300. You know, if anybody wants to invite me, I'll go, but there's no way I would pay that kind of money. That's crazy. Let's see. Ocala Joe. Smash it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Say hi to Lourdes. John Esslinger. Buenos dias to you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Random Ray also says the goalie change has been great for Inter. Ustari was okay goalie, but he was more of a backup and easily replaceable. Well, that's how it's turned out to be, man. That is how it's turned out to be. Let's see. You are welcome, Oscar Rojas, for Michelle Kaufman. We are blessed that she gave us some time. Michael Murray, Big O, even with the little down Bitcoin is going through like it does every November I can remember, I'm still happy. I got 7 where they were at 70 GBP. Listen, man, all I can tell you is, dude, you're a badass because you don't listen to the FUD. And not that this is financial advice, but I did the same thing. This was a gift of 33% to people. Bitcoin has 30% drawbacks all the time. It's nothing new. And any of us that have been in it for a while, so I'm 6 years now in it, this is nothing. And I know what to do when that happens. You're giving me a free 30% because I know we're going to soar past 127. So I have the patience. I'm not going anywhere. At least you're not going to take me yet, right? Okay. So, you know, as long as the dude doesn't ask for me right now, I don't plan on going anywhere. So I can wait. And I know we'll be in 150 soon and 170, and we'll be laughing about this shit. And then when it's at 170 or it's at 200, it's going to drop. It's going to have a 20, 30% drawback. And that'll be an opportunity for people because then it'll soar to 250 and 300. And, you know, that's just kind of the way it's going to go because you're going to have always people that are going to take some profits because it's human nature. They made an investment. The investment has grown to a certain point. They get to pay off this credit card, buy this house, buy a car, pay the college tuition, whatever bill they're trying to pay or investment they're trying to make, because now they can buy a house or something, they're going to do something like that. That's kind of the opportunity that comes with it. You know, if you give it time and patience, it only goes in one direction. It started 8 digits behind a penny. 8 digits behind a penny. 8 digits behind a penny. And where are we now? So nothing is Bitcoin. Nothing whatsoever. What else do we have? True Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, what is no for Giannis for 100 Jack? Oh, I'm a big no for Giannis myself also. Juan Rosa. Let's see. In my opinion, is looking forward to the next new start for the Dolphins without McD and Tua. Sorry, I've never rated either, but being a fan since 81, I'm not expecting much. Yeah, no, you can't expect much anymore at this point. That's already been proven, dude. So we're not heading. The worst part is, you know, the reality is, for those of you that can handle it, don't even think about competition for the next 2 years. Don't even think about it. It's all rebuild easily for the next 2 years. 3 years from now, maybe, just if you have the right people in place, then you can start to compete because you'll have cap space and all that. The next 2 years are about drafting and getting through dead cap money and all that kind of stuff. So like what you've had the last 30 years, just be prepared to have a little bit more patience for the next 2 years. We're not going to be talking about a lot of good things for the Dolphins. You know, like I see on Twitter, on my Twitter feed go by, and people are talking about because Mark Andrews has a contract that Isaiah Likely may not get one, and maybe should the Dolphins go after Isaiah Likely? And, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm laughing because they've got to cut people. They've got to take cap hits, brutal cap hits. They got to give Achane a new contract, you know. And by the way, if Patrick Paul plays this year well and next year well, guess who's also getting a new contract and all those kind of things. So you got other players coming up that you're going to have to pay. You don't really have a quarterback. You know, you're better off like drafting a guy instead of paying a big free agent when you're not going anywhere like Isaiah Likely. These are just silly things that fans talk about, fan-oriented sites or writers that need to fill space and fill bullshit and all that kind of stuff. But we're not going to do that to you. We just don't do that to you here on this show. We're going to give you the real, and you know, if it's not what you want to hear, I'm sorry, but usually it's kind of what it is, unfortunately. And this is where we're headed. We're headed for 2 years of rewind, dude. Rewind. And 2 years of what's that called? What's the word? Groundhog Day, you know, same bullshit that we've been going through for years, reloading and drafting and young guys and development. And we hope we got the right coach. And this is the offensive minded coach or the defensive minded coach, the disciplinarian, the players coach. What's the GM we get? Who is he? Whatever. Same bullshit. Same bullshit, different day. It's just the same crap that always goes on. Welton Rayom, no crap there. They actually cut out the crap. That's what they do. Because insurance companies, they send their adjusters who are full of shit. They're not working for you. They're working for the insurance companies. This is why when you suffer property damage, condo damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation, you call two guys that are the bookend tackles, like Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, and they will crush the insurance company. And the best part is they have their own adjusters. So they send their adjusters, they assess the real damage, and then they challenge anything and everything that the, you know, insurance company is going to try to screw you out of. And I should know because Progressive tried to screw me out of it. Okay. And Welton Rayom had none of that, bro. They crushed their ass. That's what it's all about. 954-966-4646. We've had listeners all throughout South Florida, on the West Coast, in Central Florida, on the Gold Coast call. So reach out to them. 954-966-4646. The consultation is completely free, folks. So call them, as always, at Welt and Rayom.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Out there, as always, appreciate you all. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Bitcoin's at 92,758. So it's a pumping a little bit, just a little bit. Meanwhile, the Dow is down now. The Dow is down 8 points. The S&P is down almost 9 points. NASDAQ is up a point. So interesting. Now the Dow is down 16 points and the S&P is down 10. Moving in the wrong direction. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. And we start off with the breaking news that Tadeo Allende was not at practice today. Javier Mascherano, the head coach, is going to have a press conference. We'll find out the latest on that, but Michelle Kaufman just told us that fresh off of practice. So we'll see what the coach has. Last night, the Mavs defeated the Heat 118-108. Miami drops to 14-8 on the season. Excellent year so far. 4-6 on the road. On Friday, they're in Orlando to take on the Magic to wrap up this 2-game road trip. 7 o'clock will be the tip. Tonight, 7 o'clock face-off. It is the Predators visiting the Panthers. All right? Predators, by the way, there's a winnable game. They're 9-13-4. So, Cats, you got to start coming up with a couple of wins here, here, there. You got to get a couple of wins. Keep yourselves alive here. So, let's get a win today. Face-off will be at 7. Saturday, MLS Cup, 2:30. Inter Miami hosting Vancouver at Chase Stadium. Tickets are still available. You can get them at Ticketmaster. They're like $300, but you can get them. Fort Lauderdale United, by the way, is off this week. Next week, they will take on Sporting Club Jacksonville. On the road, you can watch it on Peacock or Channel 10, by the way. And also on the show, Lily Nabit is going to be joining us. The midfielder will be joining us later on the program. And then tonight in the NFL, it is the Cowboys and the Lions. Cowboys are on a hell of a roll, so let's see if they can continue knocking down some of the biggest teams in the NFL. Lions are favored by 3 at home. Over and under is 54. The Cowboys are plus 135 on the money line. The Lions are minus 165 at home. Dolphins and Jets. Dolphins favored by 2.5. The over and under is 41. Jets are plus 125. Dolphins are minus 150. Antwan Staley, by the way, who covers the Jets for the New York Daily News, will be joining us in a little bit, and we'll get a preview of that game between the Dolphins and the New York Jets, a game that I don't feel very confident about. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. If you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy, Alan Blanco. Doesn't matter where you live in the country. You're going to do all of that by Zoom anyway, and email and all that, and he can have it shipped to you right away. 786-618-1443, uniform, shirts, hats, whatever your business needs. 3A Graphics sports calendar. Give him a ring. Alan Blanco. All right. Ray Grullon says, howdy, digging your T-shirt. Nice colors, nice group. Yes, the Breeders. I can't do the sticks. I can't do it. But, yes, little cannonball. I went to see the ladies, obviously also from the Pixies. And I can't say that it was a great concert. I saw him open up for somebody at the Fillmore. And I bought the shirt out of, support. But I can't say it was a great performance, overall. But I did get to hear Cannonball live, which is one of the coolest tunes in the history of mankind. Yeah, I said that, by the way. Yeah, I said that. It's one of the coolest tunes. I'm not saying it's the greatest tune in the world or whatever, but that is a creative tune, and that is one hell of a beat. So you got to give the Breeders mad props for Cannonball. Mad props. Great song. Great effing song. That's for sure. So there you go. And thank you, Ray. Would be you out of the group that point out on my Breeders shirt. Most people are looking at it going, what the hell is he wearing? What the hell are the Breeders? That is a weird thing to be wearing or something. Billy Bob says, guys, this is the Big O Show. Okay. I'm glad he repeated it. C. Moss says, Inter Miami versus the Whitecaps FC for MLS title. Yep. Former USL club. Yeah, well, they were there with Miami FC, the Whitecaps. I believe the owner of the Whitecaps is the biggest owner of a milk company, I believe, in Canada. I think is what it is, if I remember correctly back then. Was it Vancouver or was it Minnesota? Because both of them were with us in the USL in Miami FC, and then they got elevated and they got named MLS. And that was at the time that there was a rumor in the USL that they were trying to get like 10, 12 power owners, and like Ricardo Silva, guys that would have endless amounts of money, because Ricardo Silva for Miami FC has endless amounts of money if he feels like it, and create a super league here in this country, something that, the MLS is not, because it's kind of controlled. The MLS is a league that controls its teams, which is, kind of odd. And so it's weird where the USL didn't want to do that. They wanted to create like what they do in Europe, where it's 10, 12 owners and no cap, and you can go out and buy whatever you want. And that's what they wanted to really do. But the Ricardo Silva plan never got off the ground, because Ricardo Silva never found 9 or 11 other crazy dudes like him. And I mean that, by the way, with all respect, and I mean that with like his crazy dedication. Like, he wants the sport to succeed. He is a great owner. That's one of the best owners in South Florida, and he's hidden back there with Miami FC. But he is a phenomenal owner, dude. If that guy was given no restrictions, he would be like the Moss brothers, because he has that kind of money. He's filthy rich, bro. Filthy rich. So once the MLS got wind of that, they started plucking the best teams that the USL had. And so there you go. Or was it the USL or the new NASL? I think it was something like that. I forgot back then what it was. I forgot. I was the announcer then and all that. I was kind of privy to a lot of the stuff that was going on. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, because it would have been cool for hardcore soccer fans to, if Ricardo Silva's plan would have taken off, man, would have been really, really cool. So the Whitecaps and the Minnesota, was it North Stars or something, whatever it is, they were part of the teams that were plucked from that league. Yeah. What else do we have going on? Useless information again. Whatever. It's there. What else? When Inter moves to the new stadium, do you think they will have a bigger fan base, or will it decrease? No, I think, dude, they're going to buy players. So people will get attached to the new international players. I think they'll have a good fan base there. If they continue to win, Frankie, if see what last year did was really like screwed things up for them because people didn't believe what they were doing. And then this has kind of become a money grab overall. But if you're going to make it a money grab, dude, you better win. And finally now this year they're playing up to their potential. They got to finish it off. You know, the Inter Miami is like in the worst position any team could ever be in. When the Marlins got to the World Series, you're hoping they win the World Series and they got a chance. If the Dolphins ever get there, or when the Heat gets there, or the Panthers, but this is supposed to be pretty much a guaranteed. Why? You're spending twice and 3 times the amount of money that other teams are spending. So you have advantages like the Dodgers do over most teams in Major League Baseball. So you should win a hell of a lot more than the average team in baseball, and the Dodgers do. See what I'm saying? So if you're Inter Miami, you can't go and lose in the first round to the worst team in the playoffs. You can't lose to Atlanta, dude, and justify what you're trying to do. You got to do what you're doing right now, and you better beat Vancouver on Saturday. You better beat Vancouver. That's why they're in a terrible position. Their season is a complete failure if they lose on Saturday. Now, if the Marlins lost in 2003 or 97, the season wasn't a complete failure. It was amazing. They weren't the team with the most resources or anything like that, or neither were any of the other ones. That they had the same pretty much as everybody else, and they either outcoached or outplayed their opponent in order to win. Well, in Inter Miami's case, that's not the case. You are outspending everybody by miles. You better win. You better win. So there's zero room for failure for Inter Miami. Everybody else, you can still call it a successful season and all of that. Inter Miami will be an absolute failure if they don't win on Saturday. That's insane. But that's the facts. You can't have that kind of an advantage and not come away with. In that league, you should come away with the championship. So, let's see. Big O, do you give the Miami Dolphins running back $15 million a year? Big decision. Dolphin Dave, who gives a shit, dude? Who gives a shit if you pay him 12 or 15? It's the going rate. And who are the Dolphins anyways? Is he stopping you from winning anything? Is he stopping you from getting to a title or the playoffs or whatever? Dude, pay him. You have no entertainment on this team. He's part of your entertainment. So be selfish. Yeah, pay him. You're not going anywhere anyway. So might as well keep one of the best things you've got going. You keep the Brookses of the world. You keep the Patrick Pauls of the world. You keep the guys that are playing well for you, man. On the trading deadline, if you heard me, Dolphin Dave, I wasn't the guy that wanted to unload a bunch of people. I understood the Chubb one. I didn't even understand the Phillips one. But I get it because of the injury history, whatever. Okay, fine. But outside of that, I wasn't the guy, trade Waddle or Achane or whatever, get a bunch of picks. No, dude. Somebody's got to play next year. Somebody's got to be a quarterback. Whoever the quarterback is, bro, give him Achane and give him Waddle at least. Please give him competent players, because there's no way your quarterback will succeed if you don't give him some competent players. So who gives a shit, Dolphin Dave? The Dolphins are going nowhere, especially over the next 2 years. You're going to give them a 4 to 5 year extension. You need him to play 3 out of those to justify the money, injury-wise. So if he plays 3 years, you're not going anywhere for the next 2 years. You might be competitive 3 years from now if you have the right coach, the right GM, the right quarterback, all that kind of stuff. If you don't have that, we're going to be in the same rut we've been in for decades. Okay? So who cares, bro? Who cares? If you pay him 12, 13, 14, 15, who cares? He's one of the best running backs in the world. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL. Pay the man his money. Okay? Pay the man his money. And that's it. You're a scrub team going nowhere. Keep one of the few things that people want to come see in a scrub team. Let's see, what else do we have? Okada won and Pac lost, by the way. Oh, well. Maybe they're better at pronouncing names than I am. I don't blame them if they are. Good for them. By the way, we're over 93 now. 93-1. So I think we're going to shoot to 94, 95 today. Yeah, just a thought. That's all. Just want to throw it out there. What the hell? There's nothing wrong with being positive about Bitcoin or the Panthers or Inter Miami. So we'll see. By the way, at least for you Canes fans out there, you still have a chance. You know what I mean? So hopefully BYU loses or Alabama or something and kind of shakes it up and you're able to sneak in there. And we'll see. I'm just not flipping out right now that they're not in. It is what it is. Just tired of Mario doing Mario-like things. So maybe next year. And by the way, next year is run the table next year. Okay? And if you don't run the table next year, please don't start complaining about not getting in. You have a completely shitty schedule next year. Clemson and Florida State are dog shit. You're better than them. Way better than them. The classes you're signing are way better than Clemson and Florida State. And Florida State's a disaster at this point. So you better beat Florida State, you better beat Clemson, and you better run the table on the rest of the shitty conference. Leave no doubt next year. And if you start losing ACC games, this is where those of us are going to tell a lot of you, well, we're back to square one with the same dude. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little Dolphins and a little Jets with the one and only Antwan Staley, Jets writer for the New York Daily News. You can follow him on Twitter at Antwan Staley. From his days down here in South Florida. How you doing, my friend?
It's a long time, man. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. Just plugging along and get to do my thing without any corporate eyes above me, which is
I know you love that. I know you love that. So
of that, the freedom I've had the last 6 years, there's nothing like it, dude. There's nothing like it. I'm very, very blessed. I got to tell you, Antwan, I'm nervous about this game for the Dolphins. I mean, the last 2 weeks I was there watching it in Madrid, and it was a game that, who wanted it less. And then last week was again another disaster of a game that you eked out, and Tua basically kept the Saints in the game. That's how bad he's playing. And then I look at the Jets the last couple of weeks, not that they're good or anything, but they're finding ways to win. And it's home for them. It's cold. I got to tell you something. I would not be shocked if the Jets win this damn game.
I wouldn't either. I think they're playing much better defensively. They're playing a lot better than what they did during their 0-7 start. I think the message is starting to get clear about Aaron Glenn and the direction he wants to go with this team. And, I think the players are really buying into that message. And I think you're seeing that. And I think also offensively, I think going from Justin Fields to Tyrod Taylor, I think was really big because Justin Fields was just holding the ball too long there, wasn't able to get the ball out quick enough. And, that led to sacks and possible turnovers with fumbles and things of that nature. And now you got Tyrod, who's not great, but he's not afraid to throw the ball down the field. Like he's a gunslinger. Like he really to get the ball down the field. I know AD Mitchell had a 52-yard pass last week against Atlanta, so that was pretty big. So yeah, Tyrod's going to take his chances, which also could lead to interceptions potentially. But I think the offense and defense, and also special teams. I want to give a shout out to the Jets special teams because Nick Folk has only missed one field goal. Austin McLemore looks like a all-pro punter. And then they have two dynamic returners, really Isaiah Williams and also Kane too. So, yeah, they're starting to play a little bit better. They won 3 out of the last 5, and it wouldn't surprise me if they beat the Dolphins either on Sunday.
Yeah, and Tyrod Taylor has a history of having a couple games against the Dolphins back.
Familiar.
Yeah, from the Bills. And the deep ball is something that he does throw well, actually. And by the way, he is one of the best dudes you will ever meet in the business. On top of all of that, I got to know him when he got out at the East West Shrine game in Orlando. Actually, I remember it was in Orlando the year that he came out because it was only there for 2 years in Orlando, and it was one of his years. And I got to meet him, and then got to I stayed in contact with him for the first couple of years. And I know his agent well. He is really, really a cool dude that, like, once I met him, you want to pull for him, except for, of course, days there he's playing the Dolphins. I'm not going to pull for him. But Tyrod Taylor's a really likable cat.
Yeah, very smooth guy, and you can see why players really want to follow his lead there. He's obviously been in the league for years, and been on several teams. And I think a young team like the Jets, really want to, get things going at the quarterback position. Like they feel like they need a bridge quarterback. I mean, Tyrod could potentially do that next year while also bringing in a rookie quarterback. And this is what these last 5 games are going to be about, to kind of see evaluation period. Going to see who's on the team next year, who's they don't want to be on the team. But Tyrod Taylor's been one of the leaders in the locker room for really for the last 2 years. Even with Aaron Rodgers here last year, I thought he was one of the leaders in that locker room just because he's just very smooth. He doesn't really have a lot to say, but when he talks, then people listen.
Yeah. No, he's definitely a good dude. Hopefully, he has a really shitty week this week. He's definitely a good dude. So I was going to ask you, and you kind of answered it already. It looks like the Aaron Glenn experiment is working.
Yeah, so right now it is. Like at the 4-7 start, I think there was a lot of people saying, well, could it be one and done for Aaron Glenn? Could he get fired? And the Jets never wavered. Even during the 0-7 start, they were like, he's going to be there for the long haul. Woody Johnson's committed to him. Darren Muji, the general manager, is committed to him. And, Aaron Glenn, believes that this could be sort of like what happened with Detroit in 2021-22, where Dan Campbell took over. It was some bumps and bruises along the way, but 22, they went from, I think, 3-13-1 to 9-8 the next year. And then, of course, that led into them making the playoffs the last couple of years. So, yeah, Aaron Glenn has led like that on an example many, many times. And he feels like, the players are really starting to buy in. The defense is starting to play better. The offense is starting to play better. And that is his example, shining example of what happened in Detroit. And they're trying to turn that into what, they're trying to do the same thing here with the Jets.
Antwan, you've been in the business for a while, and obviously so have I. But we have to deal with this bullshit, and it's kind of crazy because you're dealing with it, and so am I. We have a portion of your fan base and my fan base that are going, why the hell are you guys winning games? And then, you and I actually cover the league and been in locker rooms. These people are professionals. They're not just going to go and just say, oh, wait a minute, the fans want us to lose games so we could get a better draft pick next year, when most of those dudes don't even know if they'll be in the team next year
or the league
or the league or meet the draft pick ever. Or on top of all of that, most of the veterans, bro, they don't want to count on a rookie to carry their ass for anything or bail their ass out for anything, because most rookies can't bail their ass out for that situation they're in. So it's kind of, I'm sure you get it every week.
Yes, I get it all the time. I think, that's the thing about Jets and Dolphin fans, and this personally, they are a lot alike. I think that's kind of why they don't get along with each other, one of the many reasons. But yeah, I mean, players are in a locker room, they're playing for their livelihoods. We're talking about, with the Jets, like I think they're going to turn over probably half the roster from this year to next year. So these players are playing for their jobs, not just here, but somewhere else. And you can't sit there and tell them, well, not to play hard, because that's the reason they got to this point, by playing hard. Like, you can't tell them the same reason why they got to the NFL, they got to this point, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we're just gonna, not play hard at all. Teams are gonna see that on film, and then you don't want to sign a guy like that that's gonna take plays off. Like, you know it, and I know it too as well. So you can't. It's a double-edged sword. You can't have it both ways. Like, I understand that the fans want the draft picks and all that, but if you're a great organization, you can find draft picks all across the board. Like, we've seen it with the Ravens, we've seen it with the Chiefs, we've seen it in other organizations. How can they find talent across the draft board, but the Dolphins and Jets have problems? That's internally. That's within the organization. That's internal organization problems. That has nothing to do with any kind of slotted draft pick or anything like that.
And the hilarious part is, it's like, oh no, but we want a quarterback, so keep losing. Okay, haven't you guys done this already several times over the years? You've all picked quarterbacks early and they all failed. So it doesn't really matter, dude. It's because I've had a saying on my show for over 20 years. It's not where you pick, it's who you pick.
Correct.
You can end up with a great player in any part of the draft, or like you said, like Kansas City. Oh, we have a conviction on this one guy this year. Okay, we make a bunch of a trade and put ourselves in position to get that guy, and they end up getting him, overall. So
exactly. And real quick, like, the example of that is, like, the Jets had 5 first-round draft picks in 21 and 22. And they turned into Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. It didn't turn into any kind of wins. They did not translate to any kind of wins. Why? Because they got the quarterback position wrong. Like, they drafted Zach Wilson, and I don't care who you take. Sauce Gardner, really good player. Garrett, good player. But if you don't have the quarterback situation figured out, it's not going to matter. And that's exactly that's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so, I got to deal with it every week. I get it on my DMs like crazy. Why are they winning? Stupid and all that. And it's just, it's insane. But also, Aaron Glenn has to, win and prove that he can win. Mike McDaniel, even though he's a dead man walking, he wants to kind of end the season as strong as he can, because he wants to prove that he can still be a head coach to somebody else down the line, whatever. I don't know. Not that I would ever hire that guy. But just my point is, these people are pros. They're not going to stop, unfortunately, and it really is not going to matter. So, that it's just a weird dynamic that we have to deal with nowadays, and it's sad because it comes from people that probably have not learned their lesson from the past.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like, I think people are just really tend to be uneducated about the draft and the prospects that come out too, because it's going to be tons of prospects that come out and fall in the second and third round, or even the fourth. Yeah, as you know, this league is constructed on third and fourth round draft picks. Like, mostly that's what the league is all about. It's not necessarily the first and second round, but they get a lot of the praise. But the meat and potatoes of any organization, any roster, is like those mid rounds, and that's where you find your gems and your underrated talent.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. By the way, you could follow him on Twitter at Antwan Staley. You look at this matchup. Where do you think the Jets can exploit Miami?
Well, basically, getting pressure on Tua. Like, that's what's going to have to be the thing. Like, as you kind of alluded to it early on, like, the man's been throwing a lot of interceptions and committing a lot of turnovers. He just doesn't look right for whatever reason. I don't know if he's not healthy. I don't know if he's just making the wrong decisions. It could be a combination of both, but he just hadn't looked right. Even just going back all the way back to week 1 with the Colts game. And I'm sitting there watching, like, how did he make this throw? Like, we used to praise Tua's accuracy and like how great he was. And he's nothing like that player at all. And like, we're talking about just from a year to 2 year span. So I think if you're the Jets, that's the way you're going to take advantage of, getting to the Dolphins and being able to, snap this interception streak that they haven't registered an interception all year. But I think this could be potentially the week, especially when you got a guy like Tua who puts the ball in harm's way quite a bit.
Yeah, and he doesn't play well in cold weather and all kinds of other things because he doesn't really have a great line. So pretty much after 2 seconds, he has to get rid of it or he's going to get clobbered. So it's just one of those things. After that first read, pretty much he doesn't have a lot of time after that. So it's panic city after that. And I think it's a combination of all kinds of things. the injury history, the lack of trust on the O-line and the whole system. And then on top of all of that, that hip injury that he suffered last year, it seems like it took away something from him. I don't know what the hell it is, but he does not look like the same.
He look mental too, like some things mentally too. Like he's just not connecting and translating. Seems like to me.
Yeah. And so it's a really weird dynamic right now with him. The Achane side, everybody knows it's coming. They still don't stop it. So what do you think about it this week?
I think the Jets defense is in for a big challenge. Like they end up giving up 142 yards to Bijan Robinson last week. So, and now you got another dynamic running back and Achane, who the Dolphins are going to really use. Like that's one thing I did like about McDaniel, like committing more to the run game. I don't know why it took him so long to do that, especially when you got a guy like that. You got a Ferrari in the garage. Why not use it? I mean, seriously. I mean, the man he's a walking touchdown anytime he touches the ball. So it's going to be a challenge for the Jets defenders too, especially coming off of the game where they end up, like Bijan was able to do whatever they wanted to. It's just the Falcons and Raheem Moore, for some reason, stopped using them. And then they allow Kirk Cousins to throw the ball. And then that's where, things started to unravel a little bit for them. But yeah, I think if you're the Dolphins, you have to go in this game like, Achane is we're going to run the game, run the offense through you, and just throw the ball whenever we have to. Because as we talked about, Tua, just doesn't have it. And so if a guy doesn't necessarily have it and is also turning the ball over regularly like that, why not use a dynamic running back like Achane who could just hit a home run in every single play?
I like the Dolphin defense now is actually playing much better overall. How does the Jets score on them?
Well, basically, Breece Hall. You got to run your offense through Breece Hall, and I think a lot of teams are really keyed in on him. So, Tyrod Taylor is also going to have to take care of the football too. Something that he's done a decent job with, but I think also like guys like A.D. Mitchell, also John Mechie, who has also came in the trade with Garrett and Sauce Gardner, and also Quentin Williams. They're going to have to step up too because they're still without Garrett Wilson at least for another week. And also a guy like Mason Taylor, who's also been coming along as well. Like he's been playing much, much better. I think Tyrod Taylor has really relied on him, and I think he's got to play a big role in their success on Sunday.
So are the Jets going now in the right direction, Antwan?
I think so. I mean, they won 3 or 5, so I think so. I think they're probably
overall as an organization. I mean, overall head coach, GM. Forget the owner's a goofball.
Yeah, we know what the owner is. Like, we don't need to get into that necessarily. Yeah, you hit it right there on the head. But I like what Darren Muji has done. Also, like, they're not worried about the draft picks. I know we talked about that earlier, or where they're going to be slotted. They have draft capital where they can go up and get a guy like Mendoza from Indiana or Dante Moore, or whoever they want to. So their thinking is try to get as many wins as possible this year. Get a quarterback, come in, integrate them within this offense, and then also, make a few free agent moves. But yeah, I love the direction they're going in overall. We'll see if it translates to wins, but I really do like what Darren Muji and also Aaron Glenn did, especially trading to have the balls to be able to trade Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, and also get better in the process. Their defense has been better since they made the trades. Yeah. I mean, I think that says a lot about where they are right now as a program.
And they end up getting the draft capital, which for me, I think the Colts, like, they bought in too much.
Yes, too early.
Yeah,
that could be a pick in the teens now, depending on what happens to them.
Bro, Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. Come on, dude. I mean, eventually he's going to be Daniel Jones.
He's turning into a pumpkin now. I think we're starting to see that, like, in real time.
And now he's got a fractured fibula or some shit like that. He's got
he's dealing with an injury, and now Sauce Gardner's out too. So Houston looks like maybe the best team in that division right now, especially with their defense and the way they're playing.
That defense, holy shit!
That defense is elite, like elite. Like they got 2 pass rushers that can get pressure on anybody, and then they got a dynamic cornerback in Stingley too as well. So if you got pass rushers in the corner like that, like you can, that travels.
Yeah. So you're looking at Mendoza as the guy. Is that what Jets fans want?
I think they really like him, from what I understand. Like they ended up taking pretty much the whole brass. Like when Indiana played Penn State, which is 2 hours from here. think it was sometime last month. Like they took Darren Muji and most of the Jets brass who ended up going to that game. So they really like Mendoza. So I would be surprised if he was on the board. If they had an opportunity to get him, they would pass on him. Like I think they really like what he brings to the table and they believe he can be their Jared Goff.
Okay. Well, what's the prediction?
I'm going to trust the Dolphins in this situation, although I probably shouldn't. But I think it'll be a close game. It's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be cold. It's going to be very windy, like it always is in December. I'll say 20-17 Dolphins. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the Jets were to get the job done here because it really could go either way at this point. It's going to come down to whoever can take care of the ball the best, either between Tua or also Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, and my problem is right now trusting Tua is a really, really difficult thing for me to do right now, the way he's playing. And in those conditions, and the defense has improved, I'm mighty nervous about this game for the Dolphins, dude. I'm sure, again, go back to the conversation. There's a certain group of fans who are going, yeah, good, I'm glad, I hope they lose, you know what I mean? But it's just it's weird, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I don't get rooting for your team to lose. Like you should want them to win every single time they step on the field.
Yeah, that part I don't get, man. That one is confusing.
You and me both.
What are you working on this week leading up to the game there at the New York Daily News so folks can check you out, my friend?
Basically just, talking about, how the Jets defense plans on stopping Achane. Like I'll come out with a piece later on today and then just kind of a preview for the Sunday's game. So you can definitely check that out at nydailynews.com or also, my Twitter profile at Antwan Staley.
There you go. Antwan, as always, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you taking the time and enlightening us with what's going on with the New York Jets. Enjoy.
Thank you, sir. And it's been too long, man. Hopefully you have me on again soon.
I will, my friend. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man.
Much love.
You got it. Much love. There you go. The great Antwan Staley, baby. Follow him on Twitter at Antwan Staley. All right. Oh, man. Let's see. What else do we have here? D. Wolverine, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. He says, morning, I'm not used to hearing you sound a bit defeated on Tua. Honestly, it's disappointing, but I think if he revamps and leaves and goes to elsewhere, I don't know. We'll see. But I call things like I see it. I gave him time because he wasn't playing well. I know the situation. I understand the offensive line isn't great pass protecting. I know that you have a mediocre coach. I get all of that. Finally, he's dedicated to the run now, which he should have been doing for years. So there's a lot of negatives. The tight ends have been disappearing from the offense at times. So there's all kinds of things, but I cannot make excuses for the way he is playing. I can't. And I look at his demeanor and I look at his body language, and then I look at him also out there, and he looks kind of defeated, So I'm defeated now, the way I see Tua. And I know that the situation around him isn't exactly what he needs in order to succeed. Hopefully, he doesn't stick around another year and waste another year of his career here. Hopefully, they cut him on June 1st and don't bring him back just because he's a salary and all that other crap. Hopefully, they let him go, and then somehow he gets rejuvenated. Maybe he goes back to Nick Hicks to work out and, whatever, and gets rejuvenated and goes and has success somewhere that is competent. But I will also note that nobody succeeds here. So it is what it is. But right now, it's hard to succeed with Tua. Should the Miami Heat trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo? 65% of you say yes. That's the poll question. It's there on the chat board. You can vote. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, please. Big O, you also keep Brooks? Of course I would keep Brooks. I would keep good players, dude. I'm not, too many of you think that you're going to turn things around. We'll make a trade tour here and then we'll turn things. No. So let me, I don't want to be dumping or a fire sale, all that. No, man. I'm a Dolphins fan. I want some kind of entertainment. So please don't get rid of the good players for me. I want the good players around. I need the good players around. Okay? That's all.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
I see Skylar talking about Nick Hicks. It could be. I think there's a lot of things. No more trusting the coach, no more trusting the offensive line, his body, maybe that hip injury, leaving Nick Hicks, whatever. He's in shambles right now. So that's all it is. This is just this. The Dolphins are a terrible organization, dude. And they don't really know how to compliment their players. They never have. This is just part of the disease that we've dealt with year in and year out. So, True Fin Fan says, I find it comical how some Dolphins think Miami beating anyone is a given. Some fans are just deserving of a 24/7 blind-ass fan alert. Yeah, that's true. Big O, maybe Tua will peak in December at right instead of a valley for a change. Yeah, I don't think so. Doesn't look like he's playing with that kind of confidence, my brother. Just doesn't, Big O, believe it or not, I think Tyreek, just like he did with Mahomes, brought out the best in him, as you can see now. No, that has nothing to do with it. Zero. Has zero to do with it because he's missing throws that he makes blindfolded. No. He's out of rhythm for many, many reasons. It's not just the Tyreek thing or whatever. I don't even, the Tyreek thing is minimal to me. What he's getting a running game now. He should be better with play action. It should help him. He is missing wide open throws, bro. He is missing throws that Cedric Wilson throw he missed this week, unacceptable. That's a throw he makes blindfolded. Those are things that, can't happen, dude. Can't happen. Cannot happen. Let me do a little music. All right. We always do a little music. Let's do a little music. Let me get that out of the way. By the way, did you see anything, Sean, with Michelle? Did she report anything on Allende? Did they say anything? What do we have here? Yes,
nothing's
sir.
been said. She sent out a picture of the trophy, the MLS Cup, but nothing else has been sent by her yet that I'm seeing.
All right. Let me text her. Okay. All right, now let's start off with birthdays. We will start off with musicians born on the 4th. Jelly Roll, born in 1984. Jason Bradley DeFord, Born in 84 on this date. Let's see who else. Justin Welch, drummer with Elastica and Suede. I love Suede. Born in 72. Jay-Z, Sean Carter, born in 69. Gary Rosington. I remember Rosington Collins. Founder of the Southern rock band Leonard Skinner, of course. There we go. Unfortunately, we lost him March 5th of 2023 at the age of 71. But not just Leonard Skinner. I remember Rosington Collins band, too. I remember seeing them live. Saw them at, I think it was the Sportatorium that I saw Rosington Collins. Southside Johnny, born in 48. Dennis Wilson, co-founder of the Beach Boys, born in 44. Chris Hillman from the Byrds, born in 44. That is it for musicians. Let's go with other famous people born on the 4th. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. The coach has not talked yet. Michelle says that Vancouver's talking now, so we are waiting. Let's see. TV personality Wink Martindale, born in 1933. Rest in peace. Actress Gemma Jones, born in 42. She is 83 today. Actor Jeff Bridges, born in 49. He's 76. Let's see who else. International Association of Athletics Federation Hall of Fame pole vaulter Sergei Bubka, born in 63. He's 62. Marissa Tomei, born in 64. She's 61. That biological clock really is ticking. Couldn't help myself. Sorry. Actor Fred Armisen, born in 66. My year. He's 59. Actor Kevin Sussman, born in 70. He's 55. Model TV personality Tyra Kiss My Ass Banks, born in 73. She's 52. Actor Orlando Brown, born in 87. He's 38. I look like I just jerked off an elephant. That is it there. Now we move on to wrestlers. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers?
Yes, sir, we do. But first, breaking news out of the NBA. Giannis will be out 2 to 4 weeks with a right calf strain, per Shams.
I don't want nothing to do with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Nothing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. Bhupinder Gujar is 31. Brooke Tessmacher is 41.
Miss Tessmacher!
Exactly who it was named after. Yes. Elhio de Dr. Wagner Jr. is 34. Harumo Takahashi is 36. Sylvester Turkey turns 55. And Victor is 45 on December 4th, 2025.
All right. Let's move over to Musica history, right? I mean, you guys are wondering, dude, what happened today in music history, right? I need to know. Well, we will tell you. In 65, the Byrds, they turn, and turn. It was a 3-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts. It was the group's second number 1. In 71, Sly and the Family Stone started a 5-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Family Affair. It was their third U.S. number 1. In 79, U2 appeared at the Hope and Anchor in London, misnamed the U2s. They played to only 9 people, and the show ended abruptly after The Edge broke a guitar string. In 1990, The Simpsons Sing the Blues was released on Geffen Records. It was a TV series' first musical album to be released and it features Do the Bartman and Moanin' Lisa Blues. Among other tracks, Michael Jackson, B.B. King, Buster Poindexter, Joe Walsh, and Dr. John contributed on the album. In 2001, Outkast released their compilation album Big Boy and Dre Present, and it features the singles The Whole World. In 2005, the Pussycat Dolls were number one in the UK charts with Stick With Ya, the group's second number one. In 2020, Arctic Monkeys released their Live at the Royal Albert Hall. It features songs from their 2018 performance, focused on their sixth album, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Let's see if there's any other birthdays that weren't on that list. Sometimes there is. Oh. Nope. That's what happened today in Musica history. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you all out there. As always.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Ride. Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App. Let's see. Let's see. I'm here for the Blind Ass Fan Award, says NorCal. Ocala says, I agree that Tua is done mentally here and possibly physically too after that hip injury. Now, will old man Ross cut him? Is doubtful considering his decision to keep McDummy as example. Yeah, who knows? That's why it's hard to have any kind of hope for the Dolphins, because that's the owner. Sucks. But this is where we're at right now. You know, we can't do anything about it. So, sad, man. Absolutely sad. Anyway, what else do we have going on? By the way, the government yesterday bought back $12.5 billion of debt. You know, they don't have the money, so they got to print it. Okay? Get that Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Get that Bitcoin. Shedeur Sanders looks like he could be starting for the rest of the season. They activated Deshaun Watson on Wednesday. They designated the quarterback to return to practice, right? But when asked about Deshaun playing, Stefanski said, really not my focus. Not his focus right this minute. His focus is putting on a helmet, shoulder pads, and throwing a football. So it doesn't look like Deshaun Watson will be starting, and it looks like Shedeur Sanders has the green light to finish the season. Dylan Gabriel will be the backup. That's a good move for Cleveland, because just find out if he can play or not. Get a better feel for it. Plus, the team looks more competent with him than Dylan Gabriel anyways. So that's a good move. It's not like they were going to bring back Watson anyways. That would make no sense. They're going to move on from that scumbag. Plus, that guy really lost his edge. And now he's completely unreliable, as it is. So, to me, this is a really good move for the Browns and Deshaun Watson. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. So what are we saying? Hicks is a solution, and Dolphins don't have a house solution. So no. Dude, the Hicks thing is only a fraction of the problem. There's a lot more wrong with Tua and the Dolphins and everything else. So there's a collaboration of things that have put Tua in the funk. But there's no doubt that leaving Hicks is one of them. Okay? Now, maybe he can't be as agile as he was with Hicks. Maybe that injury last year did something to him. I don't know. We got to find out more about that one way or another. You know what, folks? I was going to continue, but I'm going to cut it here, unfortunately. I'm going to wrap it up here on the show. Appreciate all of you out there. I thank Michelle Kaufman and Antwan Staley. We'll wrap it up here on the show. We're going to talk to Lily probably later on in the hour, but voice-wise, I'm not going to last another hour. So we're going to wrap it up here. We appreciate you all out there. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. Thank Antwan Staley. Thank Michelle Kaufman. We will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.